Imagine a luxury SUV that promises the space of a Mercedes GLS, the performance of a Tesla Model X, and the tech of a Silicon Valley gadget, all for nearly half the price. That's exactly what the 2026 BYD Denza N9 is claiming to deliver. With jaw-dropping range numbers, futuristic design, and features that could make even BMW and Audi sweat, this SUV isn't just another EV. It might be a turning point in the luxury market. But is it really the best value you can get for under $90,000? Let's find out. The car we're looking at today is the 2026 BYD Denza N9, a brand new entry into the luxury electric SUV world that has a lot of people talking. Now, if you haven't heard much about Denza yet, here's the quick story. It's a premium sub-brand created by BYD, one of China's largest and fastest-growing EV makers. In recent years, BYD has been outselling even Tesla in global electric car sales. And with Denza, they're aiming directly at the luxury segment, the same space dominated for years by Mercedes, BMW, and Audi. The N9 is their flagship full-size SUV, designed not just for families who want space and comfort, but for buyers who want cutting-edge technology and standout design without paying six figures. On paper, it looks like Denza is positioning this model as a true disruptor, a large 7-seat luxury SUV that claims sports car-level performance, advanced driver assistance features, and a range that rivals the best EVs on the market. But here's why this launch is especially important for US viewers. While BYD vehicles are just starting to make headlines in America, their global momentum is hard to ignore. The Denza N9 isn't just another EV. It's BYD's statement that they're ready to compete with and maybe even surpass the European giants that have defined luxury SUVs for decades. So what does this SUV actually deliver in real life? Is it really as premium as it looks, and can it live up to the bold claims of being a luxury revolution? Stick around, because in the next section, we'll break down the design, the tech, and the performance that could make the Denza N9 one of the most talked about SUVs of 2026.
Let's dive into what makes the 2026 BYD Denza N9 so intriguing, starting with its design. At nearly 5 meters long, this SUV has a commanding road presence, instantly putting it in the same league as giants like the Mercedes GLS and BMW X7. But here's the twist. Because it sits on a dedicated electric platform, the N9 actually frees up more interior space than its European rivals. The stretched wheelbase and flat floor make it feel less like an SUV and more like a rolling lounge, something families will appreciate on long drives. On the outside, the styling is futuristic without going over the top. Flowing lines along the body give the impression of movement, even at a standstill. The razor-thin LED headlights stretch across the front like a spaceship's visor, while the full-width light bar at the rear creates a wide, planted stance. Details like chrome accents on the grille and aerodynamic alloy wheels add just the right balance of elegance and sportiness. It's a look that makes you turn your head, whether you're into EVs or not. Step inside, and the first thing you notice is the atmosphere. The cabin is quiet, really quiet, with noise isolation that feels more like a high-end home theater than a car. Up front, a massive 17-inch 4K touchscreen dominates the dashboard, running BYD's latest infotainment system. It's fast, intuitive, and packed with features like built-in navigation, streaming apps, and seamless smartphone integration. A head-up display projects key info right onto the windshield, so you barely need to glance down. Rear passengers aren't left out either. Higher trims offer entertainment screens, massaging seats, and their own climate controls. Combine that with soft leather upholstery and customizable ambient lighting, and you get a cabin that feels closer to a luxury jet than a family hauler. Performance is where the Denza N9 really raises eyebrows. The base rear-wheel drive version delivers over 300 horsepower, which is plenty for daily driving. But the dual-motor, all-wheel drive version cranks things up to more than 500 horsepower. That means 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 4.5 seconds, numbers you'd usually expect from a sports car, not a 7-seat SUV. The handling benefits from a low center of gravity and adaptive air suspension, keeping the ride smooth on highways while still feeling planted in corners. Range anxiety? BYD has worked to squash that. The N9 comes with a battery pack of over 100 kilowatt hours, promising up to 400 miles of range, though keep in mind that's under optimistic CLTC standards. Even if you translate that to more realistic EPA numbers, you're still looking at more than 300 miles per charge, which is plenty for road trips. And thanks to ultra-fast charging, you can go from 30% to 80% in about half an hour. That's basically a coffee stop, not an overnight wait. Safety and tech features push things even further. The N9 comes with BYD's Advanced Driver Assistance Suite, adaptive cruise control with AI learning, lane centering, automatic parking, and even the ability to summon your car from a smartphone app. It's not fully autonomous, but it gives you a glimpse of what the future might look like. So far, this all sounds impressive, but here's the question. Does it really hold up when you compare it to its rivals in price and long-term value? In just a moment, we'll get into the highlights and drawbacks that could make or break the Denza N9's case as the best luxury EV SUV of 2026. All right, here's where the Denza N9 goes from being an impressive spec sheet to a real contender on the road. When you actually drive this SUV, the first thing that stands out is the instant power delivery. In the dual-motor version, put your foot down and this nearly 6,000-pound machine rockets forward with the kind of urgency you'd expect from a sports coupe. Hitting 60 miles per hour in under 4.5 seconds in a 7-seat SUV feels almost unreal. The acceleration isn't just quick, it's smooth, controlled, and confidence-inspiring. But speed isn't the only surprise. The adaptive air suspension deserves serious credit. Glide over rough pavement and it absorbs bumps like they never existed. Switch into sport mode and the whole character of the SUV changes, tightening up the suspension and giving you a sense of precision most full-size SUVs just don't have. It's this dual personality, calm luxury cruiser one minute, performance machine the next, that makes the N9 stand out. Range is another area where expectations are tested. In real-world driving, you won't quite hit the 400 miles promised under the CLTC, but crossing the 300-mile mark on a single charge feels realistic, and that puts it in strong competition with Tesla's Model X and Mercedes' EQS SUV. Add in the ability to recharge from 30 to 80% in about half an hour, and long-distance travel feels much less stressful. And then comes the part that really makes you pause: the price. The Denza N9 starts at around $70,000 and tops out at about $90,000 for a fully loaded all-wheel drive trim. Think about that, a luxury EV SUV with this level of performance and tech for less than half what a similarly equipped BMW X7 or Mercedes GLS might cost. So, is this the moment a new player truly disrupts the luxury SUV game? That's the big question, and in the next section, we'll weigh the highlights and drawbacks that could make or break the Denza N9's case as the smartest buy of 2026. So, after everything we've seen, where does the 2026 BYD Denza N9 really stand? The answer is clear. This SUV is one of the boldest entries into the luxury EV space we've seen in years. It blends futuristic design, a spacious and tech-filled interior, sports car-level acceleration, and long-range capability, all wrapped in a price tag that undercuts the European heavyweights by tens of thousands of dollars. For buyers who value performance, the dual-motor version delivers thrills that make you forget you're behind the wheel of a family-sized SUV. For families, the sheer cabin space, rear seat luxuries, and advanced safety tech make it an incredibly practical choice. And for tech lovers, the massive 17-inch 4K screen, AI-powered driver assistance, and smart connectivity put it right up there with the most innovative EVs on the road today. But it's not perfect. Real-world range will likely fall short of the optimistic figures BYD promotes, and US buyers may face uncertainty around availability, servicing networks, and long-term resale values. If you want the established luxury badge prestige, Mercedes, BMW, and Audi still hold that ground firmly. That said, the Denza N9 proves that Chinese automakers are no longer chasing the competition,
They're pushing the industry forward. In a US market where EV prices continue to climb, the N9 could set a new benchmark for what buyers expect in terms of value and features. So, should you buy one? If you're hoping to stepping outside the traditional German luxury bubble and want maximum tech and performance for your dollar, the Denza N9 deserves a serious spot on your shortlist. But now, I want to hear from you. Would you trade in your BMW, Mercedes, or Tesla for a BYD Denza N9 at this price point? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe to IK Car Reviews, and turn on notifications because we've got plenty more honest, no-nonsense car reviews coming your way.